Hi, welcome to Healthy Home Cooking. My name is Christina. In today's video, we're going to be making a soup. It's a summer minestrone. Now, I make minestrone pretty frequently in the fall and the winter and when the evenings are cool. And I make one that is traditional with pasta and beans and lots of veggies. But this one that we're making today is a summer minestrone, which is going to be lighter. It has no pasta and no beans in it, just simply vegetables. But it does take advantage of the vegetables that are in season at this time of year in the summer, and that is tomatoes, basil, and zucchini. It can be vegetarian and is vegetarian if you make it with a vegetable broth, or you can use chicken broth if you prefer. But today we're going to be using vegetable broth, and so it is fully vegetarian. So without further ado, let's get started. So for our summer minestrone, we're going to need the following ingredients: sea salt, and for Parmesan cheese, we're going to use about 2/3 of a cup of grated Parmesan, 1 large onion finely chopped, 3 tablespoons of olive oil. We're going to need a total of about 5 cups of stock or water, and this carton I have here is a quart, so that's 4 cups, so we're going to add 1 cup of water to that to make 5. For tomatoes, we're going to open a can of diced Italian tomatoes. It's a 28-ounce can. We'll also need some freshly ground pepper. For the zucchini, we have 8 ounces of green and 8 ounces of yellow summer squash. We need 3 waxy red potatoes, chopped, some fresh basil. That's probably about 8 leaves, and we're going to finely chop those. And what I have in front of the can of diced tomatoes is sun-dried tomatoes, and these came whole in a jar of olive oil. And what I did was take approximately 2 tablespoons worth of whole sun-dried tomatoes and put them in the food processor and pureed them. And so now we've got about 2 tablespoons plus some of the oil, which will add a lot of flavor to our soup. So leave that in, don't drain that off. And then finally we also need 2 garlic cloves, which we've finely minced. And those are our ingredients for our summer minestrone. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is heat up some olive oil in our pot and wait for it to come to pretty hot. And the way to test that is to simply just put like maybe a little piece of food into the oil, and when it sizzles, you know it's hot enough. And we're not quite there yet, so we're going to wait a little bit longer and let that come to a sizzle, and then we can throw the rest in. All right, so it's coming to a bit of a sizzle. Let's test one more. And we're there. All right. So we're going to put in 1 entire onion chopped. Okay, and then stir that around. And we're going to just cook that for about 5 minutes or so. We don't want to overdo it. We don't want them to brown, but we do want them to be sort of what's called translucent. And I'll show you that in a minute. So as you can see, the onions have now softened up a bit. It's been about 5 minutes, and they are a little bit on the glossy side, and that's about what you want. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to add in the sun-dried tomato paste that I made from the sun-dried tomatoes in oil. And those are just, they come in a jar, and like I said, I just pureed them. And we're going to just stir that around in there, mix that with our onions. And then we're going to add the can of tomatoes. We're also going to add the zucchini, and I'm cooking this at about medium temperature. Okay, I don't really want it to boil, but we don't want it to take all night, so it's at about medium. And then we're going to add in the zucchini, the red and green zucchini that we've chopped. And then also the potatoes. So basically all the vegetables. Okay, so now we're going to add in the waxy red potatoes. And we're just going to give that all a good stir, mix that around, and let those cook down for about 15 minutes, uncovered. And we're going to also add in our garlic and give that a good stir. All right, now it can cook for 15 minutes. We're going to leave that uncovered for 15 minutes. All right, so we're just at the 15-minute mark, and it's bubbling away pretty good. And now we're going to add in our stock, and I have a quart of vegetable broth, but we need about 5 cups, and this is 4. So we're going to put the 4 in, and then we're going to add 1 to make 5. And we're going to just keep stirring this around. And then we're going to bring this back to a boil and let it then simmer for another 15 minutes or so, and then it's done. So really you've made this soup in really under 45 minutes, and it's hearty. I mean, it's almost up to the rim. It's going to feed a good-sized family, or you and a spouse or roommate for probably a couple days. So I'm going to definitely be taking some of this to work tomorrow. All right, so we're going to let this go for about 15 minutes. Just make sure that when you're doing the second simmer that you put a lid on, not entirely closed, maybe just about a ½ inch gap, just to let a little bit of air escape, but you want to cover it for just a little bit for the second half. Okay, so we've simmered it for 15 minutes. And now what we're going to do is add some seasoning. So we're going to add in the basil that I've chopped, and that's probably about 8 leaves or so. And we're going to put that in, as well as season it with salt. Okay, and we're going to put a good couple teaspoons in there. A little bit of pepper. And it's a big bowl, so don't be shy with your seasoning. You want to make sure that it has adequate flavor. But yet, on the other hand, don't add so much that it's too much, because you can always add. You can't take away. So we're going to add a little bit of Parmesan at this point, and I just have some grated Parmesan cheese that I bought that way, or you can certainly use fresh Parmesan and grate that yourself. And we're going to just give that a stir and call it good. I'm going to turn this off. And there you have it, summer minestrone. So let's give it a try. It's got such a great tomato flavor. It's just perfect for summer. I mean, you've got the flavors of some of the basil, you can tell that that's in there, the zucchini, the tomatoes, such classic summer flavors. It's light, but yet filling enough for lunch, or, you know, if I were to have this for dinner, I would probably pair it with a hot Italian sausage, maybe a slice of crusty bread, and call that dinner. That would be delish. So I love this. It's nourishing, it's healthy, it's homemade, and what could be better? I hope you'll make it. So that's it for today. I hope I inspired you to make summer minestrone yourself at home for you and your family. If you like this video, please click the like button and consider subscribing to the channel to see future episodes. And if you'd like to be notified when new videos are uploaded, please click the bell below. Thanks for watching.